For more, we're joined by Mexico's ambassador to France, Juan Manuel Gómez Robledo. Many thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Let me begin with, because I know the region has been concerned. We had 11 nations from the Americas who've signed on to a plea to help tone it down. Venezuela's government responding that it was meddling. We can perhaps show the latest tweet by the president of neighboring Colombia. This is what Juan Manuel Santos had to say. He said, "I've reached out to the Security Council to draw the UN Secretary General's attention to the disturbing militarization of Venezuelan society." A reference to this Plan Zamora that was announced on Tuesday by President Maduro. What's your reaction to that?
Well, we are, of course, very concerned because it's been already a long time since there is an erosion of democratic values in Venezuela. I can mention even 2012 when they withdrew from the American Convention on Human Rights. And now we've been faced with already 2 reports by the Secretary General of the OAS, of the Organization of American States, that were put to the consideration of member states on the basis of the Inter-American Democratic Charter. And that charter establishes a series of measures when the rule of law and the democratic process is being altered or interrupted. And the decisions of the recent days by the Supreme Court to take up the powers of the parliament are, in fact, the end of the separation of powers.
But President Maduro reversed the Supreme Court on that.
Partially. He reversed it partially. And the fact that he has called yesterday the army and he's planning to distribute weapons within the civilian population can only worsen things.
So what do we do here? Because there was a mediation by the Catholic Church. It didn't go very far.
By the Holy See, yes.
We see here this plea to the UN to do something. Relations are not great between the OAS and Venezuela. Who can be the one who can break the ice, who can bring all parties to the table?
It's for the Venezuelans themselves to find the ways and means to restore democratic dialogue and to restore the rule of law. And the pressure that we are putting behind will, I hope, in the end, have its effects. But we are doing that in the framework of the obligations that we are bound to. We have assumed that kind of obligations through the Democratic Charter. And by the way, let's never forget that that Democratic Charter was invoked by Chavez himself in 2002 when there was a coup against him, and we supported him. The region supported him. So we are playing by the rules that we have adopted collectively.
One final question. The United States, what role should they be having in all of this?
The same role as the other members of the Organization of American States. They should play by the rules set by the Democratic Charter.
We heard one Florida senator calling for stepped-up sanctions against Caracas.
We don't believe in sanctions. We never believe, and the OAS has no power whatsoever to impose sanctions. It's only the UN through the Security Council. This is the final step will be the suspension of Venezuela from participating in the political organs of the OAS. But sanctions, and if you think about sanctions like economic sanctions, it's only the Security Council who can do that.
All right, many thanks for that. Juan Manuel Gómez Robledo, thank you for being with us.
You're very welcome.
And of course, we'll be talking about